So yesterday I was randomly thinking about Splinter Twin, and as I was thinking, it brought back memories of this really cool play that I always wanted to pull off against a twin deck, but somehow it just never happened. So if you're not familiar with Splinter Twin, this is a card that's beloved by many people. However, a while ago it got banned in Modern. And what Splinter Twin does is it's an aura that says enchanted creature has tap, put a token that's a copy of this creature onto the battlefield. That token has haste, exile it at the beginning of the next end step. So what you would do is play something like a Deceiver Exarch or a Pestermite that lets you untap something when it enters the battlefield. You would put a Splinter Twin on it, then you would tap this, make a token that's a copy of this, the token would enter the battlefield, trigger, you would untap the original one, and then you could just do this again, make another token, remembering the tokens have haste, and then you could do that basically an infinite number of times. You have to choose a finite number, but people would usually just say they were going to make like a million Deceiver Exarch or something, then attack you for a million damage. And this was a pretty popular deck, and I'd lost to this combo many times, and I saw there was this card that I could play that would essentially make the opponent lose whenever they made a million creatures. And at the time, the deck that I was playing in Modern was Red, Black, Burn, so I was actually able to play some number of this card in my main deck. And the card I'm referring to is Rakdos Charm. So let's take a look at this one. It's 2 mana instant. It says exile all cards from target player's graveyard, or destroy target artifact, or each creature deals 1 damage to its controller. Now it's that last mode that matters the most, because if my opponent makes a million creatures with their Splinter Twin, that means that when I play Rakdos Charm, it's going to do a million damage to them, and I'll just win. And I felt like I had such a huge brain for playing this because Splinter Twin was quite popular in the meta, especially in my local meta, and I was the only person who was playing Rakdos Charm, and I believe there was actually a point where I was playing 4 copies of this in my main deck, and I was just waiting for the time where my opponent would go off with Splinter Twin, attack me, they would feel like they've got the game all sealed up, and then I would just tap 2 Rakdos Charm and be like, okay, you take a million. But it just never happened. It would always be something like I would just never draw the Rakdos Charm to have it when they were comboing off, or the game would end with me having Rakdos Charm but not having needed to use it. But yeah, I would bring this deck to Modern Night every week and look forward to being able to get someone with Rakdos Charm. But as the weeks went on, it didn't happen, and then eventually Splinter Twin got banned. And sometimes I still think about it like, man, I bet it would have felt great to get someone with a Rakdos Charm, but I guess that's just not going to happen unless for some reason Splinter Twin gets unbanned. But anyway, that got me thinking that there are probably lots of stories similar to this that other people have, not necessarily with these cards, but with the situation where you had this, this plan that you thought was going to be super fun and would feel great, but for whatever reason, the scenario never came up where you got to pull it off. So if you have a story similar to something like that, definitely leave it in the comments. I think it would be cool to read it and hear some other similar kind of experiences that other people have had. So that was just a short little story that I felt like sharing today. If you're still watching, thanks for watching. I definitely look forward to reading the comments and seeing if anyone else has a similar kind of story. But otherwise though, thanks for watching and I'll talk to you later. Use code 8thPlaceDave to save 5% on your order at Face to Face Games, Canada's largest Magic the Gathering store, where qualified orders receive free shipping Canada-wide. Support the channel and visit face2facegames.com today.